You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Victorious 89.1 WAKP. Your unity in the community station.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse Radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse Radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
One volunteer full range of products embodies fundamental nutrients necessary to maintain beautiful and healthy hair without having to combine an assortment of hair care products. The one-by-one care products are designed to rejuvenate, moisturize, create shine, fortify, and stimulate hair growth while leaving your hair feeling weightless and luxurious. Be sure to visit our website at www.onebywnkaya.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at One by One Kia. Let's get your healthy hair care journey started today.
I'm saying a prayer. Ooh, I'm saying a prayer. Ooh.
I'm saying a silent prayer for my brothers and sisters back home. Can't stand to see the suffering while out in the streets they roam. The forgotten becomes the predator, while the weak becomes the prey. And some were not so lucky, they didn't live to see another day. Some quick to pull the trigger when they could easily walk away. Some lost the love of their brothers, so killing is every day. Politicians making promises they know they just won't keep. Undertakers getting richer while life is getting cheap. No one has all the answers. This ship is sinking fast. Most High, please help us. How long will this pain last? The streets are no longer safe. Kids are scared to play. The jails are overflowing. Some young, some old and gray. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Majority are mired in poverty, while the privileged are living well. How long will the poor man?
Greetings to each and everyone. Greetings. How are you all doing? Hoping you all are having a fantabulously fabuloso day. As me and my other hosts are here on another Reasoning Thursdays. First, before we even go any further and discuss the topics, I want to say to Mama Asid and to Queen, ladies, you all were phenomenal. You all worked with what you had last week when I had to skip up out of here. And I just want to, just give you all your flowers and let you all know that fantabulous job. And that you ladies most definitely deserve a round of applause. Yes, 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 yes. You all did it up. You all did it up.
Okay, the show must go on,
The
right?
show must go on.
And don't forget, big up Mikey.
Big up to Mike.
Yay.
Big up to Mike
Yes.
for sitting in the
Yes.
studio and holding it down. Respecta, were you on too?
He
Man,
deserted us.
he deserted you all.
He was on vacation too.
You know.
He was on vacation.
And secondly, what I would like to also say is congratulations to a sister friend of mine, Joan Myers, married into the last name Byfield. I want to say congratulations to you and to your new hubby. The Mama Acid has and Queen been wanting to know how was everything. Everything was beautiful. It was
Oh my goodness.
beautiful. Let me tell
I
you
want
the
to know, did
way.
she sing?
That's would you stop rushing the process?
Let her talk.
You know, just
That's
stop
it.
rushing the process.
Yes.
All righty.
Yeah.
Well, she came out, all of the bridesmaids came out in this beautiful um blue color, like a blue greenish, blue gray green kind of color. It was very beautiful. And she, after Joan came out singing, "Look What the Lord Has Done." And
Yes.
I'm telling you,
Don't blame it on God.
girlfriend Blue, let me tell you. And the hubby was
Mhm.
awesome as well. And the ceremony was really, really beautiful. And
Wow.
and then coming out, she kind of wanted to bring some tears or something to my eyes. You know what I mean? Because she just came out and, with her singing it, you felt, when someone sings something and you just feel every beat of the song. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like that. I felt every bit of the song, because all your life you've searched for someone and you've waited patiently and you've been obedient and did what you're supposed to do. And you're not seeing yourself making any waves, you know what I mean? Any forward waves. And it's like yeah, it was so beautiful. And just want to say once again, congratulations. Congratulations. I did
And
do a
love.
post. And how about I just play a little snippet of how
Yeah.
she
Yes.
sang.
Congratulations, Joe.
Here you go, here she
Yeah.
goes.
It has come to pass. Can you see what the Lord has done? Mine eyes have seen, my ears have heard. I've
Yes.
seen what the Lord has done. I have waited for. It has come to pass. See what the Lord has done.
Right there, you heard the crackling in her
Oh my
voice.
God.
And to be there, it was really electrifying, and everyone was beautiful. Inside of the reception hall was beautiful, and none other than her baby brother, Benji Myers,
What?
sang for them. And he sang all of my songs, time. He sang all of my songs that I love Benji Myers for. And yeah, so we had an opportunity to sit and reason for a minute, and he's going to be coming on the program. He says, Lady D, I'm gonna like just a regular kind of interview and thing, like a different kind of, I'm all into the different kind of stuff. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a phenomenal interview with him as well. But I mean everything. And let me tell you, the saxophonist was off the chain. That sax man, Blue, he's a part of the orchestra for the band for Benji. And he did up his thing. Let me tell you, that man held a note for like 5 minutes straight. It's like, wait a minute, he's not
Oh
gonna
my
breathe.
God.
Is he not going to breathe? It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. But and I want to say big shouts to another question that has been asked. I want to say, and she should be listening. I want to say big shouts to Lorna. Lorna's doing good. She's home. She made it back home now. So she's doing good. She's still having one and two of her little issues, but she's doing phenomenal. Her strength is coming back and all of these things. So big up yourself, Lonnie B. Love you to the maximum. All righty. Okay.
Biggest
We're gonna get into our topics, then we're gonna get into our other hosts saying good morning, good evening, and so on to all of our listeners. So our topics for tonight is our reasoning topics for tonight is 10-year-old children's, they're working at the Louisville McDonald's until 2 a.m. Now we're gonna talk about that. Roy Wood's president statement, Roy Woods Jr. I got to watch a little snippet of it before we came on the show, but didn't get to watch the full 9 yards of it. We have the Jamaica constitutional reform, and that leads right into King Charles and Jamaica's no crime plan. What's the plan? We're going to talk about that a little bit. And we've been having this conversation for quite some time, and I guess we're going to touch a little bit on it as to the term, the term of persons in the Senates and the House and stuff like that. And a question that was asked was why Andrew wasn't, or if he was, or if he wasn't, or can you tell us why he wasn't invited to the coronation? Oh my goodness. And we just want to send prayers and everything going out to Haiti. We're going to touch that a little bit as well. So, Mama Asid, what you want to say to the listening audience?
I want to just say, welcome back, Lady D. You are always missed, but this time you were missed extra. And also to the respecters, we missed you last week too, brother. I apologize. You left the queens by themselves. And believe me, we did the best we could. Because with Queen in charge, it's going to run like it's supposed to run. Queen don't take no stuff. Oh, and to all of the people who are listening to us from everywhere, especially the Facebook people who I can't see because I can't come on Facebook. We love y'all and we thank you, and we hope that you will support us in the future because we are going to start becoming more prompt. If we say 8 o'clock, we'll be here by 8:05.
All right, Queen, what you want to say to the listening audience?
Hey, good night, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I know it's not morning. Anyway, happy to be back here. And of course, this lady, we missed you really and truly. You wasn't here to dictate to Mama Asid to, okay, let's go on. So she had free reign. She had free reign. So I know it was really, really enlightening and just listening to her go on. But I enjoyed her co-hosting with her. But anyway, we have nothing to say to Spectre. I mean, he just disappeared. I guess the boss said she's going, so you decided he's going to go too. But anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome to another session of Reasoning Thursday. And we are here to enlighten you on some topics that you might not even have heard about. So that's our goal. And of course, we reason to agree or to disagree. Doesn't matter, it's your opinion. So therefore, let's get on with it, lady.
Yes. Respecta, the Respecta.
I was working on Friday, and I was inviting my friend to tune in later, and then he got me from my shirt and the boss to that Friday. So
Oh no.
I get my days mixed up, you know.
You get the days. It's all right. It happens to the best of us. It happens
Yeah.
to the best of us.
Don't worry.
Sometimes we come and we go. You know, it's all right. It's all right. As long as we don't stay gone. As long as we don't stay gone. But yes, well, let's dive right into we want to welcome once again each and everyone listening to us via whatever entity that you're listening to us. All of our streaming partners, including Victorious, 89.1 FM. We want to say big shouts to each and everyone on our website, www.dapowerhouseradio.com. Or if you have your telephones and you're listening to us through your telephones at 667-930-9036. Or if you have the TuneIn app, I want to say welcome to you through the TuneIn app and some other different URLs. I want to say big shouts to each and everyone that has it locked, and we thank you for your support because we know you could have been listening to someone else. You decided to vibes with us right here on the Powerhouse Radio. All righty, so we're gonna dive in. How about we start with the 10-year-old children working at Louisville McDonald's until um 2 a.m. How about, do you want to start there? Do you want to go on to the no terms? Where do you ladies and gent want to kick it off at? No
How about
suggestion.
you pick, Lady D?
Okay, that's not a problem. I could definitely pick. I would love to start with the 10-year-old children. Were found working at a Louisville McDonald until 2 a.m. Now, you know, McDonald's and the staff and everyone is being chastised as far as the establishments itself. But in the article, it reads that let me tell you, three McDonald franchises that own more than 60 McDonald locations, and this is courtesy of CNN. Um, Maryland and Ohio employ 305 children to work more than the legally permitted hours, the DOL found. Three McDonald franchises that is owned, um, and they're located in Kentucky, Indiana, Maryland, and Ohio. Okay. So it is stated that two 10-year-old children were found working at a Louisville McDonald restaurant, sometimes until 2 a.m. The U.S. Department of Labor brought it to the attention on Tuesday. The revelation was part of an investigation into the child labor law violations in the Southeast. The agency also found three franchises that own more than 60 McDonald's locations in Kentucky. In which that part was said already. Maryland, Ohio employed 305 children to work more than the legally permitted hours and perform tasks prohibited by law for young workers, the Labor Department said in their statement. Okay, investigators from the Department Wage and Hour Division found, once again, that 10-year-old workers was that's some of the violation of the federal labor law committed by the Kentucky McDonald franchise. And, the staff members and so on is being reprimanded. And Tiffany Boyd, Senior Vice President and Chief People Officer at McDonald's USA, said that these reports are unacceptable and they're deeply troubling and run afoul of the high expectations we have for the entire McDonald brand. And they says we are committed to ensuring our franchises have the resources they need to foster safe workplaces for all employees and maintain compliance with all labor laws. Now, the article goes on and on and on. Good evening, Donna. How you doing? Donna says, "Good evening, ladies and gents." Um, okay, so when you when you read something such as, and they're just focusing totally on the establishment. The establishment is doing what an establishment is going to do. By the way, they are giving them penalties of $212,000, 759 in civil money penalties for the child labor um, violation. But that in itself is a slap. Just $212,000. What is this? What is there to deter them that they would not continue this action? And then also, my number one thing about this whole thing is, where are the parents? How could parents have their children working at a 10-year-old child working at these establishments till 2 o'clock in the morning?
Okay, but what about the children that are working? You see, the thing is that they're publicizing McDonald's, but they're not talking about all those other folks who are doing it and have been doing it and was just, excuse me?
And like those meat plants.
And was just, yes, that's what I was just going to say, and was just exposed 2 weeks ago. They exposed them where they're under 16. Now, they're denying that they did not know that these children, when they did the applications, that they were under 16. Come on now. You look at that damn child, you know he's under 16. I mean, come on now. You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, they have them working in these plants.
So my question, I understand that, and like I said earlier in my statement, is that these establishments is going to do what they need to do to operate,
right,
by any means necessary, including infringing on a child. That's not a problem for them to do. So my thing is, where are the parents in this? That a 10-year-old child, my 10-year-old child.
Of these kids. Well,
go ahead.
Can I throw at that?
Yeah, go ahead.
On, because I was just going to say that some of these kids here, they have to pay their way for the person who brings them there, or they can hurt their family members or what have you. Also, some of them, they have to send money home because they're depending, who is back home, they're depending on them doing what they're doing to help support them. So it's a no-win. Go on, Asid. I'm sorry.
Donna says they are not even of age to work.
These kids are invisible. Let me explain what I mean. The kids are invisible because A, they're not American citizens. B, they're not in the refugee system. They're illegal migrants. What that means is that they were smuggled into this country, like Queen said, and they have to pay the smugglers. They also have to pay where they stay, and they have to pay people to get them a job. So when they're working, nobody is there to tell them what to do. And in terms of them going to school, they're invisible. Okay, they're not in school because they're hiding in a lot of cases in the daytime to keep from being detected because they're not in school. One of the things that was discovered here in Michigan, which blew my mind, was that there were a lot of kids that the farmers were using seasonally, and they would use the same families over and over and over, even though they were required to provide them with certain types of places to live and a livable so-called wage. These kids weren't going to school. They weren't getting medical care. And during COVID, it came out that a lot of these kids and some of their families were still working during the shutdown, and some of them even got sick and brought COVID into the labor chain. Some of them were trafficked between states. So some of the ones who had gotten word of them here in Michigan, which Michigan is a toughly patrolled border state, they shipped them off to Ohio and Indiana. Indiana especially because they don't have the type of work regulations that we do in Michigan. And in Indiana, the Amish hire people to do certain types of jobs, and they don't interact with anybody. So you can go and work at one of these Amish chicken farms, just like we like to buy the Amish chicken. those Amish chicken farms are using these migrant children to go out there and scoop up all that bird poop at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night while the Amish kids are in their beds asleep. So the very fact that we support these industries, if we stop supporting these industries, we could actually change a lot of this. But the problem is that this is going on through larger portions of our industries, such as, like Queen said, these factories where they got these kids in there with these water hoses, cleaning them at night at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. They got these vans showing up to pick up these kids before the regular workers come in, so they don't interact with them and people don't see them, which is what also was happening at these McDonald's, because they were using these kids to clean McDonald's all over the place. They also clean places like Church's Chicken, and they clean Popeyes, because here in Michigan, they had a chain of Popeyes that was run by the same company, and they found that they were using certain people to do certain cleaning contracts, and they didn't actually work for them, but they would bring in these same people and they would rotate them between locations when they found out that they were going to be getting an inspection, because until then they didn't clean. It got so bad that people reported it.
Acid.
They reported it. People reported it to the health department.
Acid. Okay, all righty. Let me say this. There's nowhere. I understand your rationale to the topic and the question Mama Acid, but there's nowhere in this article that it states that these are illegal children or migrant children or anything like that. These are just children, 10 years old, working in the establishments that persons in McDonald's are hiring these kids. So, and it doesn't say anywhere in this article that any of the hiring was found to be illegal. These were children whom were legally working at 10 years of age around hot.
Remember me saying that there's cleaning contracts? They have cleaning contracts. These companies, these cleaning contracts, they don't work directly for McDonald's. They work for the cleaning company. And the cleaning company has a contract with McDonald's or whichever chain they're working for, and they send them from location to location. And these kids work for the cleaning company.
And you see, Donna said exactly what I said. Donna says they have children that are citizens working as well. It is not only children that are smuggled into America. And that's exactly what I'm saying. These are children, some of them born, like she said, citizens born here in America that are working. My question is, a 10-year-old child, where are the parents? Where are the guardians? And I understand that persons are going to say that they need the funding to send back home or to whatever. Those may be the ones whom are migrants and illegal. But what happened to the ones whom are citizens, born and raised here, and have a 10-year-old child out working until 2 a.m. in the morning? If it's a guardian,
where's the parents?
I'm sorry?
Where's the state? Where's the state? Where's the people who are supposed to be overseeing the child labor laws and acts and what have you?
Donna,
what happened to them?
What happened to them? Donna, you're correct. It goes back to what I've been saying. She says, do you know where your children are? No, we don't. That's something. We used to, I can't phantom a 10-year-old child being in a McDonald's, my child being in a McDonald's working until 2 a.m. No matter how desperate that I am, no matter how hard things are, I just don't understand the logics in some parents' mind, much less employers' minds, to have 10-year-old children working in somewhere that is such a hazard On top of it, 10-year-old working around oil and all of those big machines. That's some serious stuff right
Lady,
there.
lady,
Yeah.
they selling their children's body,
Mm.
eh? At an early age to the nearest bidder. I mean, the richest, the highest bidder.
But
They
then,
selling their
but then
children
you
to.
did. But then you did come back. It was either you or Mama Acid that
Child
came back
molestation,
and
yeah.
said, "What? Where are the
Mm,
regulators? What is
mm,
going on in these offices, these Congress office and these
yeah,
employment offices and these things that they feel that is even right to even have a 10-year-old working in McDonald's?"
no, so that's true.
That's why
That's right.
the labor laws say no.
Yeah,
That's
because
why the
But
labor laws were put in place.
it's to have the people to enforce these laws. Remember, they claim the budget is low and they can't do this.
hello. Ooh, look like the for some reason this has our phone line went down for some reason, not sure why, but it did. So I guess they will call back in. But it brings us back, as Donna also said here, 10-year-olds children aren't even permitted to work. So, why what are they even doing in a McDonald's? What and this is not uh one person, like a one person franchise own. This company has has almost what they said 300, almost 300 locations. So we're not speaking about some small fries business here. We're speaking about um yeah, what happened here? We speaking about some big things here. I mean, a big company, and to be hit with a $212 fine, and that's all that is happening to them, then I mean, that is wrong within itself. That is wrong within itself. Our telephone line shut down for some reason. I'm gonna try to see how I can get them back up. And let me see if I can get them back up via the telephone here. Um, yeah, but in the meantime, we can myself and you all can keep chatting. We can keep on talking a little bit more about what's going on here. Let me get Mama Acid on the line, and while I'm trying to get her and then get Queen and then get the Respecta back on the lines, right? Donna says she was calling in. Okay, I don't know what happened. If that's, I want to touch on that McDonald topic. Okay, okay, Donna. All righty, big ups. I don't know. Our entire line just went down. It just totally went down. So I don't know what happened. So Queen and everyone got cut off of the line, and trying to get Mama Acid. Okay, I didn't get her because I know they're still trying to call back in, but I'm not sure what happened. But yeah, it looked like power failure, power surge. Well, it didn't totally cut down. So, but anyway, yeah, and it brings me back to just think about what is going on with the parents that you will have your 10-year-old kid out till 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm knowing that it's not just on a weekend that they have them working. It has to also be on a weekday, and just imagine and think that these kids have to go to school. They have to go to school as well. You know what I mean? And so they're tired. And man, I wanted them on the line for this. How could how could they focus? Is that also a part of why a lot of the children are failing, because the focus is not even there, when to think of it. um yeah, hold the line, Queen. I'm going to put you on speaker on the system here. Let me, I'm trying to set you back up. I'm calling you on the line because I don't know, the whole thing just shut down, and I don't know why it did that. All right. Well, I'm pulling you through the Bluetooth here, so that should pull us up, and the listening audience can hear you. And I'm still talking to them in regards to just the knowledge of parents to have their children out. Um. Okay. Is this coming up? All right. To have their children out till 2 o'clock in the morning. So imagine if they get off at 2 o'clock, what time do they really even get home and get to bed? And suppose some of them is doing this during the school week. You know what I mean? Also having to do this during the school week.
Those are parents. Those are not the norm. The norm. I don't think they are the norm.
Mm-hmm.
You might find a few parents doing things of that nature, but it's not the norm. You know what I mean? And for you to have a 10-year-old working in McDonald's at a certain time, and you are a good mom, a good parent, or good parents, then something is wrong there. And that's why I don't believe it's the norm. It's just maybe a couple of women that decide to allow their children to do that for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, like you say, it's monetary gain. They do that for, just like how I said, they sell their children's body for the same monetary gain. So people do these things, we don't know why they do it, but they do.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to get back Mama Acid on the line, as well as the Respecter, and we could talk through this outlet it's telling me it's not, and we could talk through this outlet until we get back hooked up on this on this Skype. Hold on. Okay. I just heard that. Alrighty. Hold the line. Let me get Mama Acid, see if she picks up through this forum here. Yeah, yeah. But it's a sad thing that in this time and this age. Hey, hold the line. I'm merging you with Queen, and then we're gonna talk through this until the system finish doing whatever it's doing. I'm gonna get the Respecter back on the line as well, and then we could continue our conversations because we sure have a lot to really discuss. Okay, let me get the Respecter on, and then we could continue our reasoning. Our telephone line just totally shut down for whatever reason. It totally just shut down. Um, yeah, so I'm trying to get it back up, and then if I get it back up, then you all may click over on the next line and see. Okay. Okay, let me see. Greetings, Acid.
Okay, are we back? Yes.
Okay, yeah, you're back. Queen, call in, and the Respecter, call in for me, please. Yeah, call in on the 70. Yeah, call in. Yeah, I think I got it working up good. All righty. Yeah, so we're gonna get back connected and continue our reasoning. We still have to discuss the constitutional reform in Jamaica. King Charles, we still have on our list the no crime plan. And was he really not invited to the coronation? Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna be talking about all of those things. All right. Yes. So Did anyone have anything else to say in regards to the 10-year-old child and the 10-year-old children? Because it's not just one. You know, they found 10-year-old children that are working till 2 a.m. in the morning in McDonald's. And that's
We can
sad.
just we can just imagine what else they have these kids doing after hours. We can just imagine disgusting behavior by grown men and women. It is sad.
Yeah.
Well, lady, it doesn't matter if you're a citizen or you're not a citizen. Treating children a certain way is ungodly. I do believe in God, and it's ungodly to me to treat them anyway. And working in McDonald's, I'm hoping that it's not cleaning up the debris that they have out there in those dumpsters and what have you. But if they're working indoors, I can see with that compared to what I saw, the interview I saw with those children in those meat plants working. You know what they have to do in there,
And
which
how
is
old
so
are those
bad.
children? How old are those children that are doing that?
They're under 16. Some of them 12, 11, 10, whatever, under 16. They're all under 16. And the law did come down on some of.
Don't tell me it did it again. Do not tell me it done it again. Oh my goodness. What is going on tonight? I guess they do not want us to talk about what we are talking about tonight. It is it's like a taboo. They do not want us to talk about what we are talking about tonight because trust me, we have it's such hot topics right now that yeah, we went down again. And I think we might as well just leave that phone part alone and let's do it through this entity right here. But yeah, it's a sad thing when these children are being abused. And I would class that up to being abused. I would class that up to being abused. You know? Yeah. That's what I would put that with. I'll put having 10-year-old children working by boilers and fryers and all of these things. Queen, okay, we're just gonna leave it through this way because I don't know what happened again. It shut down again, and we want to just keep it rolling with our reasoning. So let me see if I can get Mama Acid and the Respecta back, and we'll just vibes it through this entity. Acid, hold the line. Don't go anywhere, okay? Hold the line. We're just gonna get Respecta on, and not sure what is going on, but you know, Queen and Mama Acid, sometime when you they don't want us to talk about what we're gonna talk about today. You know they don't want us. Somebody don't want we talk about what we are gonna talk about today. Donna says I'm calling in, but I'm getting a recording telling me to call customs. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Donna. I'm gonna check because the bill has been paid. No respect. We just gonna.
They don't want this many powerful voices. You can't make one big choir at a time.
We just gonna flow it this way. We're just gonna flow it this way because we're gonna keep being interrupted the other way. So yeah, Queen, you was before we got disconnected. What were you saying in regards to the 10-year-old? Was it you speaking?
Yeah, what I was saying is that yes, 10-year-old working at McDonald's, and like I said, I pray that they were not doing those dumpsters and what have you. But if they were inside, working inside in another capacity, then I can understand it and I can empathize with that for whatever reason why the parents let them go out there. But I'm more concerned about these other children that are working in these plants, and I saw them. They showed you the graphic picture of these plants that these kids are working in, and these are young kids. You could see them, like some of them, the doggone suit they have on seem like it's bigger than them. I mean, and they're working in these plants, cleaning all this BLOD, you know what, cleaning all of that and whatever else, and they're paying them little pittance, and the little pittance that they get, it goes to the person who brought them into the country, and the little bit that they have left over, they have to send it to their family members because they're depending on them. I mean, Mexico has gotten so bad that some people can't even eat. So that's why they're coming here in drones like that. But I feel it for those kids. And any group of children from its kids, I'm an advocate for kids, and it's no good. It's no good.
Queen, I want to throw one rock. This is a heavy rock, but I'm gonna throw it. This is not no European. None of these European people that's coming over here.
Yeah.
Them and none of the Arabic people end up in these situations. Wonder why.
Wonder why. They don't have any melanin in them. Is that what it is?
I think that's it.
You think so? Okay. I think so too. I think from you have a little melanin inside of you, you have problems. There's no strength.
And that's that's sad. That's sad.
Mental health.
That's
mental health. That is mental health. We can see that demonstrated everywhere. Just like that guy who choked a man to death on the train in New York, with all these people around him, watching one man choke another man to death because the man said that he was hungry and thirsty. The man had just came from his doctor's office asking for some help, just like the man in Atlanta who shot up the hospital. He went there asking for a change in his mental health medicine because he said it wasn't working for him and he needed help. He asked them for help. And when they didn't give him help, I guess he decided he would get it the only way that he felt he could. Maybe it has something to do with the amount of melanin that we're not getting the help that we need. Maybe that's the real link right there.
But look, it's not now. This has been going on for centuries, honey. They camouflage it now, but it's been going on and it never stopped. It never really stopped, They just camouflaged it. That's all they did. But honey cow, we still are being suppressed. We still have issues out there. We have wants that cannot be fulfilled. We have children that are going AWOL because there are no programs to keep them occupied and keep them busy like in our days. We had during time they had Bruce Street, that they go up there Bruce Street and play basketball. I mean, you don't have those things. Cross county, they run cross county. You don't have those things anymore. So these children, they let out their energy other ways, and it's not productive ways that they're letting out these energies. So, but I mean, it's society. It's the people that need to come together and demand some changes in their government, But like I was talking to one of my Lyft drivers, like we said, you can't do it all by yourself. You have to have a group of people that are willing and caring and willing to go the extra mile.
Can we ask you, I want to ask you a question, Queen, since you said
Yeah.
What would explain the behavior of the man who shot his next door neighbor because he was doing yard work in his yard on a Saturday afternoon?
Okay. That happened a couple of months back with the woman. You remember the woman? I don't think he didn't shoot her, but he threatened her with his gun to shoot her.
Right.
I mean, it's people are, like we said, mental health is issue.
Yeah, we really
Right
need to
now.
get a psychologist
Especially, yeah, yeah.
on the program and to talk about to really talk about mental health because we've been skirting the the edges of it, but it is really getting out of hand. Like as it said, even um today there was the lockdown in downtown Atlanta, in regards to, or was it yesterday? I'm sorry, yesterday in downtown Atlanta at the facility, and the mom is saying how much she has been trying so much to get help, you know. And I was speaking to someone earlier today, and we were talking about the same thing. And her son had one and two issues, and she's saying the what she had to go through to get help, the all of what she had to do. And then she said she basically had to make him sound like a monster in order to really get assistance from the government. So I think that is something that we should demand of some answers in the next presidential debates and things like that, as to what is the next president that is coming in is looking to do to assist in getting persons help with mental health.
Okay, Lady D, I gotta jump on that quick. I'm sorry, I just got to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Be on the
Go ahead.
Dianne Feinstein, Senator Dianne Feinstein, who is 90 years old and has known and diagnosed Alzheimer's, is sitting in a very important seat in California and will not give it up. We don't know why. She's rich. She's white. I'm sorry. She's lacking in melon. She's melon. She's melon deficient. She's melanin deficient. I'm trying to learn these terms. Y'all got to understand. I'm 67. I'm used to a different set of terms, okay? And I can't understand why we don't understand that term limits are the reason that we are having all these old problems in America. We could have a lot of these things resolved if we had real participation from people with well-working brains instead of the tired brains that are inhibiting the process and preventing things like mental health care, because they sign for guns, but they don't sign for help. So if you agree to give people guns in your state, but you don't think that those guns should have to have a set of mental health care professionals to go with them, that have to go with those medical professionals that have to fix those gun victims, and please tell us what qualified immunity for cops is about, because that's what it is. Qualified immunity means that a cop can kill anybody and they don't have to deal with anything. They could possibly get charged with standing and watching someone kill someone else. Okay? Because that's what just happened to the guy who stood there and told people to stand back when his partner murdered George Floyd. That was mental health. That was another mental health care issue. And it wasn't George Floyd. It was the cop who had the biggest mental health care issue, and the cops knew it. So right now we have mental health care issues and policing paired together for a delivery to a sick community. Tell us, please, how that is supposed to work.
One of the main reasons for mental health is, or definition is, hatred. And it's not only white hating black, black hating black. Because think about it, a black cop know what's going on. White cop, they're not gonna hurt them, their own kind. They want to look for us. And if the black cops are trained to do the same thing, do not harass the white folks, only your kind. And we start over and over on the internet. We are 3-4 white cops and 1 black cop. And a black cop would stand by and watch.
Why? Okay, let's go even further. What about those 5 or 6 black cops in the case of Tyree Nichols? They were all black. The one that got off was white.
The white guy didn't get anything other than sent home for a couple days. But great. He got free vacation.
Absolutely.
So what about the black ones?
They get what they deserve.
And at this point, what is that?
They should have not act. They did.
What I'm saying is they had qualified immunity. If they did not have qualified immunity when they hand them these guns, do you think they would be so quick to try and take someone's life? Because qualified immunity should come with responsibility. In this case, none.
Absolutely.
Remember that these people in Texas caused for hours before the man next door came in their house and murdered them. The man shot women and children. So he was drunk. He had been deported. That's on him and them. But he says he bought his AR-15 off the street in Texas. We know he's probably telling the truth because you could buy them anywhere. If the continued exploitation of communities by gun manufacturers hasn't gotten enough attention, when do you think it will? Because at this point,
don't forget our.
It's been 169 shootings, and it hasn't been 169 days in this year.
The mass shootings are getting crazy as well. These mass shootings are getting, and I think it all once again stems from mental health. So whomever that when they're campaigning, I'm hoping that they are going to be campaigning on what exactly are we going to do, because the mental health situation is starting to become a crisis.
Yeah. Can I break up the conversation with a joke?
Okay.
Today it was revealed that Herschel Walker yanked one of his biggest supporters for $500,000. What? Is that mental health joke good enough for you, or do you want another one?
Listen, I'm not even understanding why are we still even speaking about talking about Herschel Walker. I'm not even understanding that.
We were talking about mental health and crime. We're talking about mental health and crime. Okay? You knew I was going to explain it if you asked, so, I'm sorry I had to break it up with that, but I figured,
Okay, so where are we going?
All right, so go ahead, the Respecta.
Remember, Barack Obama tried very hard about it with gun violence and, all the innocent young black men and women that got gunned down. He tried very hard to pass the law and go after the gun companies, and nothing happened. So Congress and they don't want it any change.
Something did happen.
More people get killed.
Well, that was part of it, but remember, at that point, that's when you saw the biggest increase in these types of semi-automatic compact weapons starting production. Prior to that, it wasn't like that. They were using Bushmasters. Well, they upped the game when they switched that ammo. The problem is that people don't understand AR-15 are a multi-projectile tool. You can use it in many different situations depending upon what you decide to put in that drink. We don't talk about weapons very often, so I guess I shouldn't go down that road.
Donna says,
just figured, Respecta.
Donna says there are so many people that has mental health issues, even those who are in power. Oh yeah, most definitely.
Especially them.
Most definitely. Yeah, most definitely.
So you went there. Okay, so can we talk about the constitutional issues conversations going on in Jamaica? So I can just say what I feel and everybody can laugh, but Queen, please tell us what's happening.
What are you talking about? The constitutional reform in Jamaica?
Reform in Jamaica, yeah.
Yeah, let's go on into that, but somewhere in there, if not this week, next week, I want to talk about just so that I remember. The Chinese with the police station. Come on, Asid, since that had broken
we can go back there. We'll
yeah,
go in tonight.
Yeah. Go ahead, Queen, with the constitutional reform. I'm here trying to set us up properly.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, what happened? They call the Honorable Marlene Fork. She is KCJP, and also she's also NP. Anyway, what happened was she was drafting out the proposition that was set forth by members of Parliament. And you know that they're trying to put Britain aside and get their own charter, right? Wait! You said it. You said they are trying to push Britain aside, right? Yeah, that's what you said. Monarch, really. Bottom line. I got to ask this whole stupid question, but you got to let me ask this question, please. Okay. Go on, Sweetie. According to the Constitution of Jamaica, Jamaica achieved its, do they call it Independence Day? Can you tell me about that date and what actually happened on that day? And then, of course, I'm going to ask you about why the white people keep coming over there and keeping their face on the Jamaican money. Look, I am reporting what these people are reporting, okay? These reports are coming from Dr. Nadine Spencer. Wait a minute. First of all, let's do this. The Canadian professor Richard Albert. I don't know if you guys heard about him. He wanted to be on the committee, right? He's from Canada. He's a Canadian. So, but along with that, he's coming with some baggages. Some of his baggage are he's pro-lesbianism. He's pro-abortion, he's biased abortion, and all of that. So Dr. Nadine Spencer, she said there's no tolerance for that in the committee. Now, this committee was formed to go over the Jamaican Constitution and to weed out, I guess, what they want to keep in and take out what they don't want. Because really, it's still Parliament that's going to make the final decision. So it's still the same people that's making the decision, even though they're saying they want the public to be involved in these decisions. But they have a no crime plan. They have that's been going on now for years, and there's no changes because they have so many people dying in different constituencies. So it's a mess out there right now. They can't decide on how really to go about with this constitution because there's A and nays, and some of the nays are higher than the yeas. So they're still fighting with that, and they haven't decided. But there are some things that they claim that they are in accordance with, and that they decide to come together with. So there's something that they decided on, and both sides decide on that and said this is it. But there's a whole lot more that they have to go over and decide what they're going to do with it and how they're going to change it. and how it's going to affect the Jamaican people in the long run.
So did they specify what parts of the Constitution that they're trying to reform?
No, really and truly, they're not. It's an overall thing. They're going through the whole Constitution. This was something that's been going on for a while now, right? But they're just letting the public know about it. This thing, what they've been doing is mulling over the Constitution for a very long time. Okay, because remember that we were under the charge of the British.
Wait! Don't move so fast now. You got to the part I like.
Okay.
You say we were. You like that term, were.
Yes,
Stop it.
Were.
Stop right there now.
Mm-hmm.
Then if that's the case, what's the point in the constitutional reform? Because it's the constitutional reform to write out the British by establishing
monarch.
Well, I'm saying by establishing the true Jamaican Constitution, so Jamaica is no longer a realm of the British duchy.
Right. And now they're going to be able to have president, then somebody like it's like a prime minister, but he's going to be below the president. He's still going to have to answer to the president. It's a whole, you can watch the whole thing on YouTube if you guys want to tune into it. It's on YouTube, different town hall meetings pertaining to this topic. So you can pull it up. Just look for constitutional reform in Jamaica, and it will bring up quite a bit of those podcasts that they have circulating. But it's still they haven't come to a conclusion, and right now it seems like all of them is in a mess. They mean that they're confused.
They need to get rid of the con and just do a constitution.
Say that again, Respecta.
They need to get rid of the con because the Constitution is not working. So get rid of the con.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, they're conning us. They're conning the people.
They're not the con either. They don't have the con either.
They're all in the same barrel.
Okay, one of the things I didn't hear you mention that is really important is about the crime bill. So, talk about that crime statute, and then I want to throw something in there because we need to revisit this when I have a few more statistics. But some of the statistics that I've seen in terms of the vote and no confidence, that's the British way of doing it, shows that Andrew can't stand for a vote of no confidence because people in Jamaica don't have any confidence in him or anybody else at the present constitutional parliament. Now, the problem is that the constitutional parliament itself is flawed because it deflects to the British Privy Court. They don't have constitutional sovereignty enough to issue a death edict, which is why the discussion of reconstituting the death penalty is a farce, and they need to stop it. Okay, now let's just go ahead, Queen. Tell us about the anti-crime thing so I can ask about the crime going on up in the parliament.
Oh, man, let me tell you something. This is crazy because he put out this how many, 10-phase plan for controlling crime and getting rid of crime. But yet still, 2 weeks ago, 2 people were shot. 2 weeks ago, 2 people were shot in their head on the side.
You talking about 2 weeks ago, just yesterday.
Really?
I mean, someone is killed. But I mean, even that, let's go to the armored truck. All of these I forgot the name of the company. Oh boy, I thought I wrote it down. But in a space of 3 months, they've had like 3 hits on these armored vehicles, on the money transfer vehicles. And I mean, we don't even have a crime plan once again.
But they get
in
but
Jamaica.
Don't they
don't they always get the vehicle back empty? No deposit, no return.
I mean, it's something serious. It's something serious to look into, because this is everyday transaction. You have persons who are losing their lives or being shot at. You know, possible to lose their life in this line of work, and if there's no one to deliver the cash to the banks and to the ATMs, then that is going to eventually trickle down and come to the everyday man, you know, everyday persons like yourself and me, who are not able to access our money because there's no money in these banks and in these ATMs.
No.
So it starts to become.
No, Lady D.
What?
No.
No.
No. I'm just gonna say these. It's not gonna be about paper. They're gonna eliminate all paper, and it's gonna all be plastic.
Well, I guess that's what they're trying to do. New World Order, huh? So is these are these hits are those ways to get people to panic and not want to walk with cash or want to change over to this new plastic idea?
Because if you're doing crime, you're only gonna have paper. You're gonna hide it, so you're gonna use paper. And paper is not gonna be acceptable in a lot of places no more. In fact, right now in the United States, there are some places where they are actually fighting lawsuits at stores like Whole Foods because they don't want to take any paper. They want chips only.
This also could be a con game that these companies are playing. The truck only has a few $1,000, and because of insurance, they could be getting millions.
So they say it's harder to have a robbery where there's no cash.
It could be no robbery at all.
Well, they even think of it that way. That's something good.
Well, I guess the last one that just happened on I think it was Monday, in St. Thomas. You know, I may not be getting the story totally straight, but yeah, they end up running away and leaving. They got away with the money, you know, but for some reason them end up leaving the money. I said all of that and they end up leaving the money. How could they leave the money? Isn't that what they went for? But they couldn't.
They was trying to get away with they didn't want to get. They didn't want to die. That's all.
Yeah.
They just didn't have the timing right. You gotta have the timing right. They didn't have the timing right because if they had the timing right, or they had enough money to pay the cops to slow down, they could have got away with it all. See, it depends upon how you work these crimes out.
Yeah. Like
okay, but Queen,
everyone don't.
Queen.
Yeah.
Tell us about the crime initiative. And also, we want to know if the state of emergency, what number is it? Is it still in effect?
The state of emergency it depends. It's not all over the country. It's only certain areas, and there's an increase. There's an increase in Portmore. There's an increase in crime there at Portmore, right? And it's like the murder rate has doubled, and they have a curfew there. But like I said, it's not everywhere they have a curfew. Also, they have it there in what do you call it? St. James. In St. James also, they have a curfew there, but it's not an island-wide curfew. And this man had this plan where by 2023, crime would be reduced by 85% or something like that. He said, because of his plan, what he's trying to do. He's opening up more prisons. Right now, they're pushing for the death penalty, the hanging. They're pushing for that, even though
some of the other Caribbean islanders say no. Right now, Jamaica is number 2 in the murder. Number 2 in the Caribbean.
Really? Number 2 in the Caribbean?
They're second for homicide in the Caribbean.
Oh, yes, it to me.
Second place for homicide in the Caribbean.
With all of the murders that's going on in Haiti,
Well, I don't know, but that's what it says. It says Jamaica ranked second for homicide in the Caribbean, and this is just a week ago. This poll was taken.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Why wasn't Andrew invited to the coronation, or was he?
No. Also, the U.S. president wasn't invited either. It's for the British people.
Okay.
Andrew is from one of the realms. Now that, to me, implies that since it is a realm, which is one place where you dwell, realm is the place that you own. So they consider Jamaica a place that they own. Now, our president is Scottish. We found out the other day. Is that it, right? Scottish? He's Scot, right? Is that what? Well, the thing that is most important in this case is that two things are happening. Jamaica is trying to pretend to become soon independent. Okay? We know it's not going to happen. We know that Andrew is just talking a bunch of crap in order to divert from what's really going on, which is a white-collar crime wave. They stealing more money in Jamaica and washing more money than anywhere on the planet. They washing more money in Jamaica than they are in Macau. Okay, and people go to Macau to get rid of money. Literally, they burn it. Physically burn money. So, this crime plan doesn't address any of the electronic crime. It doesn't address any of the fiscal crimes, and it doesn't address any way to be able to have a special classification or qualification of credentials before you can start handling these great big chunks of money. You should not just be able to access millions of dollars if you don't have a bond to cover that much. Yeah. This woman who did all the so-called crime that they're blaming it on said she didn't do it all. And I believe her because she wasn't, I'm not going to say she wasn't smart enough. What's that company called? Now, them billions of dollars. That one we talked about slightly last week with the sporting, the betting, and what have you. And it's billions of dollars they took from private people, private stockholders or whatever you call it. They're washing money in Jamaica like never before. Like I said, people are coming from all over the globe to come to Jamaica and wash money. It's like something I've never seen before, and the Chinese are in charge of all of it. Chinese have their own debt collection system. That's why they set up in Jamaica. Everywhere they got a large investment, they set up some police stations.
Well, you know what?
So,
them Chinese are some bad mother. Shut your mouth, cause last week we were I wasn't here, and so we didn't get to even reason on them finding the Chinese police station. I think we were out like 2 weeks, and we didn't get to discuss on them finding Chinese police station in New York. So I mean, if they can have their own private police in New York,
California and Florida too.
Oh, they have it in California and Florida.
It's 100 countries there. I mean, all over the place in the country.
What is so mighty about them that they can do this?
They know they have tragedy. They know how to
do tragedy planning and what have you, and they work together. They stick together. If one say P, the other one say P. If one, they're not gonna say P and then he say Po. If one say P, the other one gonna say P. They follow each other. They model each other. They model each other.
They're manipulating some financial transactions behind the scenes in Jamaica that the prime minister doesn't want to discuss. And that, to me, is very interesting because he got in his financial cocoon, which is gigantic at this point, and people don't even understand where Andrew got this money from, and nobody is asking the right questions. It's very simple. This is not like a great big puzzle. We can put this on a cocktail table and have 3 glasses of juice and figure it out.
What's the right questions that no one is asking?
Okay, Queen, no, you can't ask it that way. Queen alluded to it.
Enlighten.
Who and what controls the financial transactions in the country that monitors all these large transactions that keep happening badly for people who invest in the
system?
That's what she said. Who's in charge? You know, I admire her way of thinking about this because to me, it's a bigger problem. And the bigger problem is that right now, the guy in charge that just got put in charge of the World Bank today makes me want to pull my hair out by the root. And I don't have much hair left. But I'm going to say this. When you get to the point that you put Indians in charge of the World Bank, it is because you 100% want the British in charge of the entire world. There is no one more British and colonial than the Indians and their caste system. Okay? Just the other day, the Indian courts told the Sikhs they had to stop being racist and stop trying to hurt everybody just because people didn't want to tie up their heads and holler whatever it is that they screaming at that point. Because they have a system of control over the economics all based upon color. You can't go to school to become a doctor in India unless you're a certain color. You have to work in the fields if you're a certain color. Okay? They're bringing that all over the globe wherever they go, endorsed by the Chinese. That's why the BRIC involves both of them as friends. Brazil, this was a deal made before President Lula even came back into office. It was made by Bolsonaro. And Bolsonaro is now being arrested by the Brazilian government for all of his fascist and anti-Brazilian, not just rhetoric, but his actions. The man was Trump's twin, okay? He's hateful, and he does not even want the Haitians who are trying to escape so that their children don't die, even coming into Brazil. And there's a treaty between Brazil and the Haitians. So the Haitians aren't just crossing over half the world to try to come in to Texas or trying to die coming into a beach down in Florida. No, they are trying to save their lives, and they're being treated horribly by Joe Biden because, I'm going to just go ahead and say it, he is a friend of the Clintons, and we already know wherever they go, death follows.
Oh, Lord.
So, in terms of what's happening, Andrew is a good friend of the Clintons, okay? So
what was you getting ready?
King, so is King, what's his name? Because he ain't my king, and I'm glad I ain't got one. I'm sorry, mine died.
What was you about to say to Respecta? You were going to say something.
I was just saying, Holiness, really and truly, he's just a puppet. Everybody is dictating to him. And he's moving on fear because that's what they do. They threaten your family if you don't want to, communicate and participate. They've done that to a lot of African presidents who, stand their ground and say, no, you're not going to bring this to my country and so on and so forth. The next day they end up dying. So Holiness, he can't turn back. He's gone. He's too far gone. No one can save him.
He in it too. He in it too. He in it too. He getting a large, might even be partnership. I mean, come on now. Yeah.
Sweetie, he signed the last IMF note. That means he's in the club. He's in the club of Paris. So once you borrow money from the World Bank, you are forever going to be rich. Because the type of money that he signed on the dotted line for that Jamaica never knew he was signing for should have immediately landed him in jail for fraud. There's been no examination of the last two loans made from the IMF because they did nothing for the economy of Jamaica. In fact, Jamaica's roads were not even built with money borrowed from the IMF. What did the IMF money do? Do any of the three of you know?
No.
Because I know, and I'm gonna say once y'all ready to hear it.
Go ahead, because I don't know, and I would love to know. Where did it go?
It goes in certain people's pockets. Then they go into certain people's pocket acid.
It goes to different parts of so-called government functioning. Okay. One of the things that goes in the top is the Jamaica Defense Force. That's the top expenditure for the entire country.
What about the 20 million they got the other a couple of months ago? What happened to that?
You know they're getting all these free ammunition from the ammunition distributors when they go and they say, look, you should give this ammunition to Jamaica because it's outdated.
Let me tell you something. I was attacking in a taxi in a lift one day, coming home. I knew that man was real green the way he was talking. He was like, nothing is wrong with Andrew. He said people lying on him, people telling tales about him. I mean, that man was serious too. Well, it got to the point where I had to cut the conversation short.
Yeah, because you driving in this car.
Especially he know where you live at.
Yeah,
that's the
you know what I'm saying.
I see you real greens, okay? We won't talk about it. And look, and I told lady, I said, lady, I couldn't for the life of me. I'm doing this station. I've been hearing this station for 18 years, and the name would not come up in my mouth.
It wasn't supposed to. It wasn't supposed to.
It wasn't meant for. Yes.
You know
I'm
what?
serious. I couldn't come up with nothing.
I'm gonna give you all the joy.
All I was saying was, it's Reason Thursday. It's Reason Thursday.
Yeah, those. Donna, I can't get away from you. Listen, I went to a girlfriend of mine's wedding, and when I was sitting there, listening to some music and sipping. This white lady came over, and she is like she was totally into this aliens. She sounds just like Donna. I was like, oh my God, I can't get away from it. I said, even on my vacation, I'm here hearing about aliens, and I'm just looking at this lady. And she just feels that everybody is they're being cloned, and it was just I just had to give you all that. I forgot to tell you all that part.
Okay.
I'm on vacation and Donna's still in my ears. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. The truth is following you. It's going to find you.
Lord. And one more thing. It is 9:45. We're gonna soon get up on out of the air chair. Donna said yes. Donna said because it's true. Donna says Donna put a smiley face and said yes because it's true. I'm telling you. So I gave the lady the card, and I said, listen in to the program. And she's from North Carolina, and she said she's gonna listen to the program. So I forget your name. So if you are listening, then welcome. And but yeah, she was totally on Donna. I'm like, I can't get away from this lady. Can I? I can't get away from this lady. But anyway, we
You're
want to
not gonna
send
touch on the baby again. You're not gonna touch on the baby's death again, or you say
which babies. He's gonna touch saying, um, keep Haiti in your prayers. All the earthquake. Acid enlightened me that there was a 4.0
yeah,
earthquake that hit
yeah.
over there in Haiti. So we
Those are
wanna.
intentional.
I'm sorry.
Those are
We gotta.
intentional.
What? Who? What is
Those earthquakes
intentional?
are
Some of them.
intentional.
Some of them are. We believe in harp. We've been discussing harp
They
for a
try to
long,
wipe,
long time.
try to wipe black people off the earth.
Say that
And
again,
it's
the
called
Respecta.
Haiti. They
Yeah.
want the riches that Haiti has. And they're trying to get black people out of Haiti by the worst kind of way.
Mhm.
And it's
Destroying
wrong.
it.
It's just wrong.
They're destroying it. You know what they're doing? Destroying it. They're taking all the natural minerals and resources out of there, and now they are the ones causing the earthquake and all that stuff. And they trying to destroy the country. What are they trying to do? It's not because if you're doing what you're doing, it's not just the people you're getting rid of, but you're getting rid of the country. You're getting rid of the environment.
Well, they want to
That's
start.
the
They want
resources.
to start fresh as a different country. Not black country. It's going to be a white country.
Okay.
You
If you
feel
think
that
about it,
you feel that that's gonna be a white country?
they,
Okay.
look, these people are, they don't care. You're black, forget it.
Mm. Well, and Mama Acid, you were asking for 1 minute of silence for what was that again? Oh, let's do
Oh yeah.
a moment of silence. What was that for?
Oh my God. Now you see how short my mind is. You could do it in a
Okay.
second.
Because I have 1 moment of silence, Mama Acid, but I didn't know I didn't write next to it what exactly this moment of silence was going to be for.
And now my mind is on something else. But I will say this: I would love to give a moment of silence for the people of Jamaica, because right now they have no idea of what is about to befall them, and it is terrible according to all the projections that I've seen.
So with that, with what you're saying about that and the projections and all of that, is it right now a good thing to go to Jamaica and to buy, to build, to relocate back? What's your thought on, with you reading statistics and all of that jazz? What's your thought on it?
No, because you need to be in a more stable environment, not just financially, but politically and socially. Jamaica's biggest problem is that it has no recognition of a real livable standard for the people in the country. Now, if somebody told you, even though you had no connection to them, that you had to pay them every week off every dollar that you printed from your own treasury based upon your own tax income, would you just continue to pay them just because they said so?
Well, when you're looking at economics and stuff, maybe on that level you'll say no, but um, Jamaica is a beautiful place, and me being there last weekend, it's makes me sad that our people is not investing or in their country. I think we have a lot of prominent people with big money, um, on this side in America and Canada, England, that really need to go back and invest in the country. And it's so baffling to me when persons complain, especially persons with money that can go there and make a difference, now that the white man or the Chinese man or the Mexicans or whoever is taking over and buying up the land where the water, the seas are, and all of these things, and everybody's getting upset about it. But why don't they never put on the money where on the out there? why you folks, all of these entertainers, why a lot of these people did not invest in their country. So now that somebody, you see them always say you don't know what you got until you're about to lose it. Because all of these times why nobody didn't put their money where their mouth was. Hmm?
A few did.
Huh?
Yeah, a few did. A few did. It's just that it wasn't enough.
But they're living where the tourist areas are. They're not crossing the borderline where property line is. And all that is designed just to keep us to the people from advancing in life.
But you
So if you lady D, you have money, you go to Jamaica, it's gonna be very hard for you to even trust a family member because the whole um rushy they are to have what you have. And if you don't give one time, you give 9 times and the one time you don't give, they hate you.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to trust anyone in Jamaica right now in any business, in the form of business. They don't appreciate what you do for them.
Yeah, that's the all of that is definitely true. But let me tell you something. I I met some interesting people at this hotel. I met a couple of people who lived there for how many years? White people. And I have some that in the heart of Kingston. This young lady used to live, Jenny on the block. Hey Jenny. And she said she's gonna listen in tonight as well. So I mean, like these people were living in stepped well crossed the line, as you said, in lots of these ghettos areas, so supposedly ghetto areas. But let me ask you, would you go back and live in those areas?
In the ghetto areas?
Yeah, you will go back and live
I don't think. Well, from what I hear about, the last place I lived was between Rockfort and Rallington Town, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from what I hear about those areas, the Mountain View area, them place I used to live, I wouldn't want to go back there. From what I hear of it, and how you got to have escort for going in there and all them craziness there.
Right, so I'm not really.
And then blank plunker business and all of this craziness.
I'm not
And
really
I'm
talking
saying,
about even going into the ghettos is because the Respecta, brought it up. I'm talking about these prominent people, even not just entertainers, but prominent. You have billionaires. You have some billionaires who should have bought up some of those seaside properties and build high rises and all of these things. And now that it's being done, people have a problem with it. Why would you have a problem with it? Why you have a problem with it when you didn't put your mouth where your money was?
And what you say is true, lady. I mean, but you see, the thing is, like you said, you don't know what you have until you lose it.
Until you're losing it. Carl, let me tell you something. We sitting here and we're worried about crime rates. And we're worried about a lot of these things that we're listening in on the news and all those stuff. And these foreigners are going into this beautiful country of Jamaica and is so full enjoying themselves. May it be tourist area or whatever. They are so full and it's not all of them just in the tourists. A lot of them migrates into the communities. Yeah. And they are living their, some of them are living their best life, because that's what the girl said when she said she lived in Kingston for over Portmore not Portmore, Kingston for 7 years. And she told me said she was in all of the dances, she was, working, and she white woman, and she moved back now to Illinois. But I'm saying that, we are sitting here finding so much fault about Jamaica. We need to also look at the good in Jamaica. And if everyone whom has $2 or just love the country that they come from, just think of positive and try to put positive into the country. And vote positively, not just for party, and get the right people in there to run Jamaica, we'll have such a beautiful, beautiful island and live in.
Yes, because Jamaica is gorgeous.
Jamaica is
Well,
beautiful.
somebody said to me that in Jamaica right now, the average person, they have $100, they would rather spend it on their hair than food because it's all about look, fashion, and style. They don't get caught in the same outfit in the same week. Right.
They get a little bit more money now. Remember, them raised the minimum wage on the 1st of June.
That ain't no money. That is no money. That is no money. But
the government make it seem like it's a big jump, big leap.
Go ahead, Respecta.
They raise the products, they raise cost, everything they raise along with the minimum wage.
They increase.
Well, we're gonna get ready to get up on out of the air chair because the time is now 9:57 on the clock. Well, before we go, we want to definitely thank each and everyone for joining us as we reasoned on the topics of 10-year-olds working in just being in the workforce, and for such a large company such as McDonald's franchises to be doing this. I think child protective custody ought to be called in, even to check these parents or these guardians that are keeping these little babies, because they're still babies, out till 2 o'clock in the morning. Constitutional reform in Jamaica, where we'll wait to see what exactly they are reforming in Jamaica. And Mama Acid, you didn't elaborate about the death to the DATH to the not your KINGCHARLES. All right. We also talked about there's no crime plan in Jamaica and what is exactly going to be done, because sooner or later is going to trickle down to the mom and pop. And like Mama Acid said, maybe these are areas, these are tactics that are being used to implement just using the chip. Is it a scare tactic? What exactly is going on that these brazen attacks are being held on armored vehicles that's carrying cash? Yeah, we it's something to think about. And yes, as we continue each and every time, speaking of term, and hoping that someone would hear us, that all of these levels in Senate and House and all of these things, they need to have term limits. you know a 90-year-old woman having Alzheimer's, and yes, she's a Democrat. We're not even talking Republican. She's a Democrat. It is alleged that she has Alzheimer's, etc., but she won't give up her seat. you know these are the reasons why we need term and a age limit, I think, as well. And yeah, continue to pray for Haiti, for peace and health and stability over there. We didn't touch the Roy Woods Jr. president statement, and maybe next week we could touch that as well. And China, I guess you're big on bad boats, yeah. I guess I want to be like you when I grow up, that you can just put stations wherever you want to put stations. The only country that I'm hearing that is doing that or is allowed to do that, have their own police station. That's things that makes you go, Well, my other hosts, they like to put their 2 cents into it. The Respecta, you want to say something to the listening audience before we go?
I just want to big up the listeners. I want to big up Dana, soon to be president of the United States. I want to big up Koji, Juliet, and the family. Big up Lady D and Mama Acid and Queen. Jamaica will rise above all of what's going on. Trust and believe.
All right. Queen?
Well, like Speck said, this answer your question, lady, about going back home and doing what you need to do. Here he said Jamaica will rise. So I guess that answer. Folks, just keep tuning in. Be mindful of your neighbor. Remember, love your neighbor as yourself. Love is the key. Love is the key. You gotta love each other. Love one just like you love yourself. It's hard to do sometimes, but you know what I say? I say, get the end out behind Satan, and I move on. I say, it's on you, not me. So let's do more of that, okay? And live in peace and harmony so we can do some great things like the white folks are doing and them Chinese are doing. Love, love. Love you guys.
Lady, don't feel quickly. I forgot.
What
This
you said
Saturday,
to what you said
Bye.
to Respecta?
I said I forgot. This Saturday at 5.
Yeah.
I will be there performing.
Okay. Yes, the Respecta will be at the Vibes over there on Glenwood Road. Saturday, I guess is the 6th. And yeah, alongside he'll be performing alongside Sister Marine. And I think there's someone else that is gonna be performing. Empress Nati as well is on the ticket. So you are going over to Vibes this Saturday and go on and support one of Reasoning Thursday's own, the Respecta. Big up
Yeah, I'm
yourself.
going to take my shirt off.
All right, all right. It's an all black affair. You said all black, right? All black affair as well.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. All right, Mama Acid.
Well, I'll just take one moment and say I wish everybody fearlessness, health, strength, peace, prosperity, and mostly self-love, because that's something that we all need, with the exception of a couple people. I do not wish any of those things to the Ducci. The reason I don't wish them anything is because they have stolen enough from everyone. Quite frankly, we all know it. So I don't wish them ever to be in my neighborhood or in the neighborhood of people that I know, disrupting anyone's lives. Which is why I wish Andrew would quit playing this game and just go ahead and have the vote and let people decide what they want to do and quit playing this game. You don't need to pay the Dutchie. You don't need to pay them. They have enough money. So Jamaica, please quit playing independence and be like Barbados and Trinidad. Get your money.
All right.
Amen.
All right. Well, we want to once again thank the Victorious 89.1 FM family and all of the other entities that stream Reasoning Thursdays each and every Thursday. We want to thank all our listeners listening via the telephone lines 667-930-9036. Also on the website www.dapowerhouseradio.com. And also, if you have TuneIn app, you can catch us via the TuneIn app as well. We just want to thank you once again for joining us. Also, please go over to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and get notified for all of the fantabulous talk programmings that come on YouTube and also Facebook Live. Also, be sure to join the Lady D Show this Saturday from 12 p.m. up until the 4 o'clock hour. You miss a liquor, you miss a lot. You don't want to miss it. Make sure that you join us each and every Saturdays, 12 to 4 for the Lady D Show. Donna says they are also inducing Alzheimer's. It's a science. Well, we'll maybe talk about that next week as well. And we thank you. Thank you. Blessings, blessings. Take care of yourself. Love one another. Pray for one another. Yeah, at this time, we need a lot of prayers in this world. Until we meet again next week, Thursdays, Reasoning Thursday, 8 p.m. Lady D, Mama Acid, Queen, the Respecta. We're out. I'm taking it with the big man himself, Mr. Don Miners. He's saying a prayer.
I'm saying a prayer.
I'm saying a silent prayer for my brothers and sisters back home. Can't stand to see the suffering while out in the streets they roam. The forgotten becomes the predator while the weak becomes the prey. And some were not so lucky, they didn't live to see another day.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Some lost their love for their brothers, so killing is every day. Politicians making promises they know they just won't keep. Undertakers getting richer while life is getting cheap. No one has all the answers. This ship is sinking fast. Most High, please help us. How long will this pain last? The streets are no longer safe. Kids are scared to play. The jails are overflowing. Some young, some old and gray.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.